Welcome back to the Cultivating Gratitude journey. We're on day 14, and today is all about nature. And I know I have a little bit of a red nose, kind of like Rudolph, because my allergies have gone nuts today, and it's just pretty fitting for this video. No matter what I do, it is what it is. But here we're going to start cultivating gratitude for everything nature. That includes like the sun, air, water, planet Earth itself, all the seasons, spring, summer, fall, winter, and all types of weather. Maybe you have a favorite. Do you prefer, rain or snow, clear skies, a little bit of wind, fog even? I like fog. It's kind of pretty and cool, and as long as I don't have to drive in it, I appreciate it. But when we start cultivating gratitude for nature, we want to expand kind of both with what we have in our reality and maybe what we want more of, as in wishful thinking. We're cultivating gratitude, we're asking the universe for more of what we love and like in the universe. And by appreciating the different seasons and different weather patterns, we can try to cultivate more of what we consider to be positive experiences in our own reality. Now, when it comes to seasons, if you don't live in a climate where there's 4 seasons, maybe you only have 2 predominant ones, that's okay. You just want to go with what you kind of know as well and what you appreciate. I've lived in many different states in the United States here, anywhere from the high mountains, even high deserts, to below sea level type of deserts, and also kind of a beach climate for a little bit. So whatever you feel is right for you, just go with that 4 seasons. But also, if you have a dream to live in a different climate, a different season, you want to experience different things, you want to start cultivating gratitude for those as well, and ask for new experiences in your life. But when it comes to seasons and weather patterns, here's just a few things to keep in mind when trying to write out your list and your expansion grid on everything nature. First of all, we want to be mindful observers of our reality. Take time and observe each unique characteristics of each season. Spring is different than summer, and summer is different from fall, and fall is different from winter. They're all a little bit different. They all have different characteristics, whether it's kind of like a spring picnic, spring cleaning, all the flowers, gardening starts in the spring. Summer activities may include a lot of water to cool down, whether it's poolside, beachside, anything like that. Even like family barbecues, building sandcastles, going to outdoor concerts. Some things happen in summer that are more predominant than other seasons. Fall, you may just go into haunted houses and corn mazes around at least Halloween here in the United States. Thanksgiving, those kind of holidays. Winter's full of skiing, snowboarding, holiday baking, Santa Claus in terms of holidays. So just kind of thinking about each different season and what it brings. Now, we can also expand on our outdoor activities because those change in the season and also in weather patterns. Maybe you like hiking in the fall or in the spring when the snow clears. Do you like skiing in the winter time? Do you even just like being up in the mountains just to experience the snow? Do you like actually having picnics with your family? Do you fly kites at all when the weather's clear and a little bit of a breeze going on? Even playing frisbee and whatnot out in the sunshine. Depends on what season you're in and what you prefer activity-wise. You can also list seasonal foods that you love, because there's different foods, different seasons. Not just fresh fruits and vegetables, but turkeys for Thanksgiving again, at least here in the United States. Other holidays have their traditions. Going off of the traditions and holidays, there's seasonal decorations. Do you like to decorate your home with seasonal items? Not just particularly seasons and major ones, but all the holidays like Valentine's Day. Do you like decorating your home with a bunch of hearts and red, pinks, and white kind of aesthetics? Do you like the fall decor where it's all kind of like oranges and browns and like more muted colors? Summer's kind of all over the place, and same with winter. Kind of gets more like a bluish white haze to me. Whenever I think of winter-based decor, everything's kind of fake snow frosted and whatnot. So if you like those kind of things, you'll want to put those down on your gratitude list. We can also focus on our seasonal wardrobes. How do your clothes change per season? Do you prefer wearing shorts in the summer? Do you always wear pants or jeans no matter how hot or cold it is? Do you like your comfy lounge pants 24/7, 365? Doesn't matter what season. But, when the weather gets nice, do you dress up? Do you kind of dress less? You know what I mean? And then when you go into like a winter ski resort, you may look like little Marshmallow Man. Do you like those kind of outfits? Just trying to think about how your outfits change as well in the seasons and weather. Because whether it's raining or clear or snowing, you may wear a different type of jacket, and maybe you have a favorite one or two. We also want to kind of focus on our weather-dependent hobbies and seasonal hobbies. Do you like sailing, surfing? Do you like gardening when it's nice out, whether rain or shine? But there's different times to plant different produce throughout the year. So maybe if you have a favorite, you want to be grateful for those. But anything that weather inspires you to do. Even stay indoors, right? There's a comfort to staying indoors, especially in the wintertime. I agree here. It's currently winter in the United States. We're going through deep freezes here and there this week. And it's just a little too cold to go outside. I like snow when I don't have to be in like negative 30-degree Fahrenheit weather. So, just one of those things. If the weather keeps you indoors, what can you be grateful for when you stay inside? Do you like just curling up with a book, waiting for the snow or the rain to pass? This is all your reality. So these are just kind of things to think about when you're starting to cultivate everything nature. Now I'm going to grab my piece of paper. We're going to do an expansion grid exercise, and I'm just going to kind of show you what I'm thinking of when I think of nature. So grab your pen and paper or your digital media, and we'll get started. Okay, so when I'm starting a nature-ish expansion grid, you can go with an affirmation or just kind of nature in the middle. But for me, I am going to say I am grateful for nature. That'll be my center kind of affirmation / topic for the expansion grid. And we're just going to want to expand on everything nature. Now, this is up to you. You can expand how you'd like, but I'm going to go with the seasons as well as kind of like different weather and concepts. So I'm just going to prep my board here with the seasons up top in their own little bubbles. We'll kind of go in order from spring to winter. I also want to focus on weather. Anything that's beyond or just generalized from the seasons. And then I'm going to be grateful for food and clean water sources. We'll expand on those in a little bit. But when it comes to spring, you can start wherever you want, but I'm just going to kind of go around like somewhat in order. Even though we're in wintertime now, I am looking forward to spring when it's not this cold. But when it comes to spring, we can be grateful for many different things. I am loving the flowers, the first blooms of the season, anything with sunshine. I even like the rain in the spring. We can do rain and sunshine because there's always a mix. Also, when it comes to weather, I do have a little favorite rain jacket. I'll add some clothes there as well under my grid. You can feel free to jump around too when something comes to mind and you want to expand a different way with it. Start a new line, start a new bubble on your grid. However you want to do this. Also, spring kind of reminds me of picnics in the park. When people are starting to get out and about, the grass is starting to come back to life, the trees are coming back to life. I feel like all of the world is coming back to life when you have spring happen right after winter. It's that new birth, new growth. That's what I appreciate in life. Jumping over to summer, I actually like all the fairs that happen, whether it's a traveling fair circus with rides or even the Renaissance Fair. I've mentioned that before. I love traveling to different Renaissance fairs. Those usually happen depending on the seasons and location, but some of them even start in wintertime technically in the desert areas. So I can also put the Ren Fair in the desert for over here in the wintertime, because those happen around January, February. Now my January, February where I'm currently living is snow-packed and really cold, but I'm grateful for being able to get out and about and experience these other things in different seasons and different areas of the world. Summer also brings to mind outdoor concerts. Now getting together, listening to music, seeing everybody have fun and dance together, those kind of things. When I'm not completely introverting and non-peopling, I like to go out and, I love music. So experiencing that with a group of people is very appreciative for me. I'm going to jump to fall because I do like haunted houses and mazes. Kind of, I don't know, perks me up in a way. I used to be terrified of haunted houses as a child. I went to one that was meant for adults, but my mom went with me and we tried it when I was probably only 9 or 10, and that was a no. We ended up having to be escorted out because I was so terrified. It was so much fog, so many things jumping out at you. I've had to redeem myself as an adult, 30 years later, getting back into it, appreciating the scares in a different way. So that's me. If you you can also do Oktoberfest. I'm not a beer person, but just seeing that Oktoberfest, I love the food, but I don't drink beer, so I can experience and appreciate Oktoberfest in my own ways, but it may be something different for you. Wintertime, I do appreciate the snow when I don't have to drive in it. It is pretty. When I'm going to jump over here to weather again and say non-driving, rain and snow. Rain is okay to drive in, but the heavy downpour, you can't see anything even when your windshield wipers are going nuts, those kind of things I avoid, but I appreciate being indoors again, bringing in that indoor comfort when, the weather is too crazy outside for me. Also with winter time, I still kind of Christmas/Santa, I still acknowledge that and participate. It's just fun. We're not going to talk about Santa beyond that, but I still like giving gifts. I still like receiving gifts. Other people's children I've involved with being Santa-ish and providing extra support for those, my friends with their toddlers and whatnot. So it's been fun. Just kind of playing with holidays. Now, I put clean water and food down because along with nature we have the world, and the world, whatever happens, people make the world go around. We need food and water to survive. So when it comes to food, I really want to be grateful and show gratitude for farmers, the crops. It's a lot of work to produce food for the world. So I'm very grateful to those who at least like farming enough to do it for the rest of us. In terms of food, we also need to thank our truckers for delivering the food around the world. By truckers, I also kind of just mean anybody in the transportation, even large cargo ships transferring goods between countries across the ocean. Very grateful for those. Even like local, we can do like stockers and grocery store employees. You know, the whole chain of food production I'm grateful for. So you can kind of think about like where your food comes from. Where does your favorite food come from? Not just like produce, but your packaged food. If you like, your favorite chips or your favorite dessert snack, where are those companies located, right? They have to get their products from them to you, and if you're not involved in that chain of command, maybe show some gratitude for the people who are working and providing that service for you. So it's not just fresh food and produce, but I really appreciate, the strawberries from California. Kind of lived up there in Northern California near their farms, at least one major company, but it's kind of fun and interesting to drive by and see the process. And it can be kind of overwhelming to see large crops and seeing people harvest all of those, because that's kind of a lot of work. Don't have much experience on the farm or whatnot, and more ranchy like, but yeah, it's a lot of work, and I really appreciate those people who can do that kind of work for the rest of us. Same with clean water. Just trying to visualize clean water sources. All the waterfalls around the world, waterfalls, lakes, clean water lakes, mountain runoff. And when we have a good snow here in the mountains, kind of provides water for other neighboring states here in the United States, especially when it comes to spring. Fills up everyone's reservoirs, and we can kind of go through the summer, at least not, in a complete drought. So I appreciate when there is enough snow during the winter time to provide for the rest of the year. So just kind of expand on gratitude and nature in your own way. What can you be grateful for? Maybe we can throw in some more seasonal foods. Because food production is just almost constant, and things are frozen and put out in different times of the year. We live in at least here in the United States, probably in the UK and whatnot as well, Canada, we are all a little spoiled when it comes to food availability. Even though things may not be in season technically, they're usually available in the store still from being stored from previous seasons. So wintertime to me is like clementines. At least, I don't know if that's the appropriate season for them, but at least they kind of push all the oranges and whatnot here in January. Seems to be the most fresh kind of produce wherever they come from. So I appreciate little oranges, mandarins, clementines, tangerines, anything citrusy, and I equate that with winter. And we can probably put it in spring too, all year round. So even if you're not sure exactly which season it came from, but maybe just think about seasons you enjoy them in. Like summertime, popsicles, even like homemade ones, and ice cream. Kind of cools you down on a summer day. I have winter on the brain. It's too cold here. But just want to focus on what kind of food you like during different seasons. Winter, hot chocolate, I guess I'm just jumping around. Whatever comes to mind. That's why I like the expansion grid, because once you start kind of getting into it, things just come to you naturally. Things start popping in, and then you kind of figure out where they go, or just make a whole new line. And with weather here, I like fog as well, non-driving. We'll do fog down here. I like seeing clouds on the ground. It's kind of cool. It's scary when you're driving through one, but otherwise, they're kind of cool. Even flying in a plane and having to descend through the thick fog in San Francisco once in a connection flight, that was terrifying. Seeing like nothing but cloud, and then, oh, there's the ground. I don't know how pilots do it. You guys are amazing. I appreciate that. I won't put that on the nature one, but we can kind of just acknowledge it as a thank you to all of our aviation specialists and other transportation specialists, not just truckers and cargo ships and everything like that. It's like everybody. Even driving just normal vans and trucks between stores. I appreciate all of that. So how can you expand on everything nature? Think of the seasons, think of the weather, think about what you do in the weather. Like if I'm going to do other activities here besides the Ren Fair, I should have put, fair, I'll do Ren Fairs. But amusement parks would be part of my summer, probably late spring to early fall, but can't really ride roller coasters when it's snowing out. They don't even have them running. I don't know how that would be, even if it was allowed and safe somehow. But indoor activities. There's some indoor water parks, indoor amusement parks around the world. When I was a kid, I used to travel with my family, and we'd like go to winter water parks just because, being from the Midwest United States, it's like we get tired of snow. We gotta go somewhere else and experience non-snow in the winter time. So just try to think about how seasons and weather are relevant to you and what you appreciate about what the world provides, the planet provides. Being grateful for shade in the summertime as well. We'll do tree shade. Also part of spring. When the leaves start coming back, the sun can get pretty brutal if you're at a high elevation. And, with fair skin, I kind of turn into a lobster sometimes and then just get white again. It's just my skin. So I appreciate shade. I appreciate trees. I appreciate all the foliage that provides that with the universe. I do love the sun. Sun gazing is great for me. But yeah, my skin does not appreciate it all the time. So I can even be grateful for sunscreens, especially some of these natural, more organic sunscreens I use, those kind of products. So really just think about seasons and weather for you. Find everything that you can be grateful for. Like nitpick it, get down to the nitty-gritty, what kind of activities you do, what kind of clothes you wear, what kind of traditions you do, participate in holidays you love, and just observe what the differences are between the seasons, between different times of the year, because we're not always doing the same thing all year round unless you live in a pretty moderate climate. But even then, it's like, okay, what do you do all year round? Can you incorporate new things? Do you even want to incorporate new things? Why do you do what you do? Why do you love what you do already? So, start cultivating gratitude for nature and just find something to be grateful for, even if you're indoors. If you can't go out yet, it's too cold or too hot, seasons change. We can be grateful for change. We want to embrace change and just kind of start cultivating gratitude for all the myriad experiences the universe provides, on what planet Earth provides. Because we're here living on planet Earth, going, being able to do all these things, but just trying to think about it per season and per weather just today, and see how much more you can expand on for your own gratitude in your life. So have fun with this one, really get into the seasons, and I will see you tomorrow.